Welcome everybody back here at our Pelagic Veil of Sounds doing interview series. I don't know. I think this is already number 8 or 9 this year, and I'm always happy to talk to wonderful pelagic artists. So I'm also very happy to talk to Jean-Anaël from, and now he has to maybe correct me if I say it wrong, from Hanry.
Henri,
So
exactly. Henri.
Hanry, not
Yeah.
Henry, but Hanry.
Henri. Ah,
Okay.
yeah, you have a very good French accent, actually.
Je ne pense pas.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, thank you very much. And so I'm not at least once. I'm once in a while. I'm not an idiot. Although I
I'm
probably
sure. I'm
find
sure
some.
not. I'm sure not.
Oh, yeah, don't overestimate my French, please. Don't. So, Jean, um, maybe first of all you tell our audience what you do in Henri, and then um, we get deep into the record and also, of course, a plug of the day and everything. But what do you do in the band?
Thanks. First, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Uh, I'm doing actually in the band on stage. I'm doing only guitars, but studio and producing, speaking. I'm doing like guitars, could be piano, things, or drum programming and stuff
Mhm,
like that.
mhm.
But in live, it's I'm playing guitar in the band.
And if I understood it correctly, you are also one of the three, let's say, core members with Anthony and Mark together, right?
Exactly, you're totally right. Yeah.
Oh, right. So, but Jean, nevertheless, of course, we will not forget the pluck of the day. You can pluck a band, I will pluck a band. And in this one, it was very easy. I want to pluck Lost in Kiev.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a good
label
one.
mates, sound wise similar. That's the way to go. But of course, you can also pick something that is totally non-post rock. So I'm
Hmm.
interested what you would like to plug.
Let's talk about some friends, actually. It's a French band called No Pain, No Pain. They pulled out their first record a few months ago, I think.
Mhm.
It's like between, it's not post rock, it's instrumental as well, but yeah, it, between post rock, alternative rock. Yeah, you should listen to it. I don't know where exactly to just place it, but yeah, I've listened. It's really really cool.
I mean, like you already touch upon something that we always like to emphasize here on the show. Very, very often, it's hard to pinpoint bands or to say, okay, they are this genre or they are that genre. It does not even have to do with they want to be this or they want to be that, but it's just really difficult. With Henri, it was like, okay, this is post rock and also very, very well done post rock.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
were there any particular bands or projects or records where you say like, okay, all five of us can agree on that band, on that record. That is also something that influences us.
That's a tough one actually because the five of us we are really listening a lot of music and different music style.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, let me think about. Give me just one sec. I'm sorry.
Of course, no problem.
Yeah, I think probably Explosion in the Sky. Uh, I want to talk about Birds of Canada, but it's not really post rock actually. So if we are talking about a post rock band, I think Explosion in the Sky. Just yeah, it's the one that just
But
everyone is happy with that.
but when you say Boards of Canada, is that a band that all five of you agree on, even though it's not audible in the music?
Uh, I think I think the three of us, like with
Like the
Mark
core,
and
yeah,
Anthony.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the band is making everyone's happy. I think.
Mhm. It's another band that came to my mind for, and also one specific record from a band that came to my mind was "Hardcore Will Never Die, But You Will" by Mogwai. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
something that you
yeah,
listen to?
yeah. Obviously, yeah. and we've seen the band live like few times.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, they are. And there are particularly few tracks on the record where you also get this a little bit more electronic side of, for example, Mogwai. That's why I thought hardcore will never die, but you will. So what interests me is, and here is the icebreaker that I always come up with. How many bands can you name with 3 guitar players?
That's an hard one.
Well, you're on Pelagic. You should know 2 of them.
I don't know every band from Pelagic,
No.
actually.
But those 2 you will know. I'm very sure.
Don't tell them, but actually, Mono? No, not Mono.
No, 2.
2 guitars.
Sometimes 3, but normally 2.
Okay. No.
Envy?
Yeah, Envy. Yeah.
Your fellow countryman, Year of No Light.
Okay.
Although, sadly, I think at the moment they're only with 2 guitar players because of the death in their ranks a few weeks ago. Iron Maiden, something that I came up with, and live at the moment for a couple of years already, Bad Religion. So that were without thinking too much, that were the 4 free guitar band, and that is also interesting because I think you are much more, of course, on the Envy and Year of No Light side of it, but what strikes me about the way that you use the guitars, I have a feeling as if each guitar in your sound has a very, very specific task, something that only this guitar does.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you explain that a little bit, maybe? How you work with those 3 guitars?
To be honest, the thing is actually is changing with the new songs and with the new live setup. We are more with a bass, a bass 6, and a guitar. But the 2 first EPs, the 3 guitars, every guitar has their own sound range. There's one for the eyes with all the ambience, one really mid, all the rhythm parts, and one very low. Just it's more like a bass 6 actually. It's for the AV sound and AV riff, and we are trying every time to get all the 3 guitars with their own range.
And sense. Then when it comes to the mixing of it, all 3 have also a very specific position in the mix, don't they?
Yeah, but usually, it's like it's a layer actually, and you just can't pull out one guitar. It just doesn't work anymore. So we have to find the right balance between the 3 guitars, and make a layer with that.
And then is also each guitar always, or each let's say each task, is that also always done by the same person, or can that change from song to song?
They change a lot with the first songs. Sometimes Adrien, which is the other guitar player and the band, played a lot of ambience. I was more into rhythm and riffs, and sometimes it's like we swap position. But the same for the new songs and the album. I'm more like playing the ambient, and that's it. I'm just playing this. Adrien is more about the rhythm, and Anthony is playing the bass right now. And we are trying to keep those roles now. It's really easier for us.
You've already said it. In the new live setup, it can be a little different because there are also a lot of synth passages and synth
Yeah.
spaces in all of a
Yeah.
song. So will you then go more into the synth playing in the live setup? Or do you also share that, for example, with Anthony?
Mark is playing all the things live.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So he's playing piano, Rhodes, and things live.
Mhm.
Obviously, we add some stuff in the Ableton Live in the computer
Mhm.
because we just can't play everything live.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, we are trying to play not exactly like the sound in the album, but the closest to the record.
Mhm. When you already mentioned Mark, and then there is this one track that I would like to talk about, and there's the last track. Sorry, Phantom Rush. On Phantom Rush, you also have somebody coming on that is not part of a band, Mariposa, and
Yeah.
that worked with you on that particular track. Can you explain a little bit how that cooperation worked? Like, what was added to your song, or was it written collaboratively? How did that work?
We made the first, I can say, the first part of the song.
Mm-hmm.
We made that, and we actually wrote the ending, just the five of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just thought that it could be really interesting to open up something at the end with a different sound. And Anthony came with the idea that Mariposa, which is a friend of him, could work with the a new piano sound, and actually he did a terrific job. It's just
Yeah.
amazing, and he did all the piano, all the things for this last part, and
Mhm.
he wrote everything. It's like it's really like part one and part two actually.
Yeah, it's like it's also nearly the same length. Like one is a little bit under 5 minutes, one is a little over 5 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is definitely true. But it still works very well also together. Um, was it always clear for you that this track needs to be the last one?
It's funny because we had actually this the same question this afternoon during the rehearsals, and I don't know for you or for the audience, but yeah, for us it sounds like the an ending actually, like the yeah, if you just watch a movie, and it could be like the last track of the movie actually,
Yeah.
and maybe it will make sense to do that live as well, or maybe not. We are trying some different stuff
Mhm.
and different set list actually. So uh, to me, it sounds like an ending. Yeah,
Yeah, also because it's by far the longest track on the record. It's more than 9 minutes, and that's also, of course, why it makes sense.
yeah,
It
yeah.
feel it feels it definitely feels like the climax of a record in a way.
Mhm.
Um, and
We
that
thought about cutting it actually first, like
okay,
keeping only the first part because it was yeah very long, especially for the vinyl length,
yeah.
and it was very long. So we talked with Pelagic, and we said like, just let's keep it like that, and the song is like that, and that's it.
Um, and then I mean, like we are talking about, of course, an instrumental post-rock band, and we all know that it's the cool thing about post-rock is that everybody can see it in his or her own perspective,
Hmm.
opinion, bias, whatever we want to call it. And everybody brings something different to the table. But then, of course, again, the record titles are important. And your record, which when this one comes out, was released last week. So your record title is What Came from Silence? A very philosophical question, of course. Um, Does silence also play a role in your songwriting?
I think, yeah. I speaking for myself, obviously, but yeah, I think the silence is really important, and really this tiny space between two parts. I think it's really interesting, and I think we need that silence to play like bigger parts, like huge choruses or stuff like that. If you want that, if you want something heavy, you need that quiet
Mm-hmm.
part before that silence before. I think it makes sense.
It definitely does. Um, has there ever been a moment when you thought, okay, this track needs vocals?
You think?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah, obviously. There's one particularly. There's one on the record. We love. We really love the song as it is, but we thought that it could be really interesting to try some vocals on it. To be honest, we are looking for maybe yeah, a collaboration or a singer, and maybe we'll try some stuff and see how it sounds. Maybe it will be nice. Maybe it will make no sense to have it like that because the song is actually released, and this is it. So, but we want to try just only for one song. We want to try. We want to
Mm-hmm.
keep that Hanry. It's really instrumental. There's no point not talking about that. But yeah, let's try some new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, like, limitation can be a very, very interesting thing until the point where it becomes an obligation, you know.
Mm,
But I know what you mean. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the writing process. We've already mentioned that there are basically three people in the band who more or less write the stuff. But then again, of course, with three people, the question can be, okay, does everybody come to writing sessions and has something prepared? Or is it like a jam? How do you work out the things? How do you work out the songs, the three of you?
Uh, for this one, it was actually more like based on jam in
Hmm.
the studio, uh,
Hmm.
and this is actually also why we call this album "What Came from Silence."
Hmm.
It was because actually we it's like starting a day with a blank page,
Hmm.
and yes, depends on the day, but usually yes, or Mark or Anthony or me as well, just starting to yeah, drop a loop or
Hmm.
a riff
Hmm.
in the studio, and yes, so sometimes like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Maybe we can just work with that and trying some new stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, usually it starts from a blank page,
Hmm.
and it's actually, it's really hard to write a 7 minute song with only one loop.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it could be it could be a very long process just to finish one song.
Yeah. And then the three of you have worked on those things, and then I mean, like, there are two more people in the band. How
Yeah.
does that one then go? Do you then invite them in, or how do we have to imagine that?
Uh, Usually they come at the not at the end of the process, but I think the song is usually nearly there, like
Hmm.
70 or 80%, and
Hmm.
they come to the studio and just finish the track with us actually
Hmm.
because I think it's working like that because there's just five brains
Yeah,
in a studio room. It's a lot,
yeah.
to be honest. And but yeah, usually they came to the studio just to finish the tracks with us,
Mhm.
and I think it's working like that.
I mean, like, it never sounds as if it's not an organic process, and that's of course also very very important for a post rock band because let's be honest, if it sounded like puzzle pieces,
Mm.
each clearly divided from the other, then it would not sound very well. And that is also something that leads me to the next question because you, as a band, are basically 4 years old, if I understood it correctly, founded in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2022. But it never sounds as if we are listening to a band that is only 4 years old. Um, so the question must be like, how often do you rehearse? How often do you get together? How did you come to the point where it sounds as if you understand each other blindly?
Thanks first. That's very nice. Um, I don't know. I think we just got lucky. Actually, we are all working in the music industry for a long time now. In other bands, or Clément and I are sounds technicians.
Mhm.
So we are working in studio. I think that helps a lot.
Mhm.
Uh, in the writing process, in the producing process, and I think it's not like we know already what we want to hear, but uh, w if we have an idea, I think it's can be done like very quick because we know what we want. We know how we can just get it really quick, and yeah, I think that's it. Is that clear? I don't know. But
And
uh, yeah, yeah,
so does one of the two of you, for example, have his own studio where you can
yeah,
basically come and go? So
yeah.
that is probably also a big part why, for example, you in those 4 years you've already released two EPs, a single, and this is your first full length. So is that owning a studio also something that benefits the band a lot?
Oh, yeah, obviously, and not because of the skills. I think it's more about money, to be honest,
Yeah,
because we are really lucky to have those tools for working. We all know that it's very expensive to book studios and
yeah.
to make records. So yeah, we are really lucky. And yeah, we could do rehearsals. We could record stuff. Obviously, we have to do with all the agendas of everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's really easier for us with that.
Does it?
With that, I think. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Without without this, yeah, I think we just can't do anything, and or it will be very longer to do this.
And that also probably helps you with recording and also maybe already mixing so that you can already say like, okay, here the break must be, for example, shorter. Here the break must be a little longer. I guess that also is more possible in your music. It's more likely to happen because you got the time and the energy to do that, right? You don't have to say like, okay, we have 5 days and then it must be done.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We we spent a year doing this album
Mhm.
because we had the time to do this, and yeah, it's how can I say that? It's yeah. I think I'm really we are really lucky to just add this time. to just took one day to think about an intro or
Yeah.
a verse or a sound. Just nobody can do that in the real world.
Very
Yeah,
difficult. Yeah. Yeah. Of
yeah,
course.
very difficult. And
Um.
but actually, I think it could be also interesting if we are making a second one, a second LP, and I think we will. Uh, it could be really interesting to try a different process and just five guys in the room, 5 days, and just see what's happening. Actually, could be really interesting.
Um. And when I listened to the EP from last year and compared it with the new full length, I had the feeling as if there is more, let's say, there are more electronic parts on it. Is
Mhm.
that just my feeling or is that true in a way?
No, no, no. It's really true. Is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We love that, and I think it's part of our sound now, just to mix electric guitars and things and beat crushed drum loops and stuff like that. We love that.
I have two more questions before we come to the quickfire round at the end, and that is, um, I've read somewhere in your promo text that the record was written, and I hope I get it correctly, during a long and bitter winter in Brittany.
Yeah, it is.
First of all, do you think that there is something in your music that is that comes from where you live, from Brittany?
Um, I don't know if it's really the city where you live. I think it's more uh, your life and what's in your life at this moment. Uh, yeah, it's more like uh, what you can find all around you in your personal life, in your job. Uh, Not especially about the city. The winter in Brittany is very cold actually, so maybe that helps to do this kind of music to just be in the studio in the cold outside. So yeah, maybe, but
So did the winter then basically lead to more time spent in the studio?
I think yeah,
Huh?
because you
Yeah.
want to stay warm. You want to stay warm in the room. So yeah, maybe.
I've never been in Brittany in the winter. How must we think of it? Is it snowing? Is it rainy? Is it just simply cold, windy? How do we envision it?
No, we don't have snow.
I
So
thought
bad.
so because at,
No, no,
at
no,
the sea, right? Yeah,
no, no. But
but
it's really cold. A lot of rain, and yeah, it's really about rain and cold.
because I thought about that and I was like, okay, when I think of winter, I think of coldness, I think of sparse instrumentation, something like that, or completely black metal stuff like that. Okay, but post rock, and I also thought about okay, sparse instrumentation, and that is something that I would definitely not say about your music. It's not like a sparsely put together indie record. It's still there's a lot going on. But now that you say it's okay, it's just more time spent. That makes total sense. Um,
Yeah, and personal life as well,
mhm.
obviously. But it's hard to tell something without lyrics actually,
Yeah.
and that was the point. We the five of us, obviously, I different uh, different. Uh, we all have something different to say. So
Mhm.
and but yeah, it's hard to build some emotions and to tell something actually without any words.
And then the last thing that I've read about the record is that you said somewhere that one key element to understand the record for you yourself would also be restraint, restraining yourself. How did that happen? Did you say, okay, for example, here the song, that's enough? Or how did that restraint come into play?
I think because we are lucky enough to have studio and we can spend like 5 years to write a song.
Mm-hmm.
It could be endless, actually, but,
Yeah.
and we actually don't want that. In the writing process, yeah, I think if you spend too much time on a track, you just get lost.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know that there's no rules, but yeah, it's like really, yes, I don't know how to explain that. Just we are talking to the three of us in the studio and just saying like, okay, maybe that's it. Just it's done for this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because in this type of music, you can go like everywhere. You can try everything. You can just do a 12-minute song, and that's okay for everyone
Yeah,
in the
of
room.
course.
So yeah, the thing was, we just don't want to get bored in the track, and it's and yeah, we don't want to get bored, and we don't want to be like a 12-minute song. So, but yeah, there's no rules. It's just I don't know actually.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, as you say, what one can prolong a track into eternity, right? If you want to do it like that, yeah, of course. I see that. And then also, to say like, okay, it's done now. I think that
Yeah,
is that maybe the most difficult thing for you? It's done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
and now we are trying. I told you, well, we are working on the live set, and we are trying new stuff. And yeah, this is endless. You can just take the song and just swap positions, swap instruments, and keep also maybe a jam part into the live set. Could be really interesting. Just not having the same song every time, every night. So yeah, sometimes you just have to say it's done. Just that's it. Let's do something else, please.
Yeah, I think that's also a big thing, right? Not not overthinking it, right? Because yeah, I see that. So, Jean, first of all, thanks for all the insight. Thanks for telling us so many nice details about the record. And basically, you already invited us to watch you guys live. Are there tour plans? When will you be on tour? This is released at the beginning of June. When will you guys come on tour?
There's actually not a lot of gigs, actually, because we are, to be honest, looking for some booking agency. We have
Well, I know you're definitely playing Pelagic Fest.
Yeah, this one, obviously. So this is the first one, and then we are working on a tour in Europe. We are trying to play Germany and UK, but we are in discussion with a new booking agency. Actually, I don't know if I can talk about it because maybe it's too soon.
Yes.
But
no, I
yeah,
understand. But can we say second half of 2026?
Yeah, and
okay.
Yeah, we hope so, and a lot in 27.
Sounds even better. Jean, thank you very much, but you still have to go through the quickfire round at the end. And as you also somewhere in your promo sheet say that you would love to do cinematic work.
Yeah.
Of course, when we talk about post-rock, there are two bands that automatically jump to mind. We've already mentioned Mogwai, so I will give you two of their soundtracks that they did. I'll first give you, and I hope I don't fuck it up, Le Revenant, because they did the English version,
Mm-hmm.
and Zidane. I thought we'll keep it French.
Wow. So I have to choose one.
Yeah, you have to choose one, either Zidane or Le Revenant.
Uh, for Anthony, I think I will say Zidane.
Which one? Zidane? Ah, okay.
Zidane,
So
yeah.
would Anthony say that because he's a football fan or because he likes
Yeah,
Frederick?
yeah.
Ah,
No. Yeah, yeah.
to be clear, that I'm talking to a Frenchman a day after they kicked out my football team out of the Champions
Yeah.
League. That's already. I'm
Oh.
not gonna say anything else.
You really should talk about it with Anthony because I'm not really into football, but he is. He is a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, and he's gonna be happy, and I'm gonna be like, no, 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 no. And then, of course, the other post-rock band that comes to mind when it's about soundtracks. And when I did this, I really was surprised how many soundtracks Explosions from the Sky have already done,
Mm,
because I always thought it was just the stuff that they had on Friday Night Lights on that football movie, and I knew that they had done stuff for a soundtrack for a movie called Lone Survivor. They
mm.
have even three more, and I knew about one of them, but they also have something from Manglehorn, Prince Avalanche. But
Wow.
the two
Oh,
I'll
wow.
give you is Lone Survivor and their latest one, American Primeval.
To be honest, I've listened only to the lonely. Sorry,
Lone Survivor?
Lone Survivor. I think
Okay.
this is the only one that I've listened to. So I think I will pick this one, which is
Yeah.
really great, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. That you don't know the American Primeval stuff doesn't, it's not a shame because it was only released last year together with a Netflix show, which is also, I have to admit, a very cool show. But
Okay,
also, of
okay.
course, lives from the soundtrack.
Mm.
And then I thought, okay, we want to keep it in the post-rock realms. And I thought of one band that you also already mentioned, which only has two guitar players, Mono. So I'll give you Hymn for the Immortal Wind versus For My Parents.
That's a shame because I didn't listen to it. So I have to listen to it. So just pick one for me, and I will listen to it.
Well, the consensus on that one would probably be Hymn for the Immortal Wind.
Okay, nice. I will
I'm
listen
very
to it
I'm
tonight.
very sure you know the next two because I've already mentioned it, and I want to keep the loop, and I want to stick to Lost in Kiev.
Hmm.
Um, I remember I was a little late to the train, to the bandwagon. Didn't automatically from the start listen to them. I only got in with one of my favorite 2010 tenths, like the whole decade, post-rock records. That was Persona. So I'll give you Persona
Okay.
versus Motion, the very first one.
No. Let's say personal, I think.
Okay. So, Jean, thanks for all the details. Thanks for the wonderful music. Everybody, when you watch this on the day it comes out, then a few days ago, Jean and his four bandmates will have released their first full length, What Came from Silence, via Pelagic. Shout out to our Berlin friends. And Jean, your chance for final last words.
First, thank you very much. I loved it. It was really nice to talk with you.
Thank you.
And final words. Just yeah. Hope you like the album. We love to do it. So I think I think you will like it.
Me too. So thanks for the talk and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have
Bye
a good
bye.
time.
Au
Bye.
revoir.